It's one of them podcasts. In association with Theresa May's dance teacher.
Got a lovely voice. Evening.
I can't.
It's one of them podcasts, the first official one
Yeah.
of an undecided series.
Yeah.
I've got John and CJ with me as per, as hopefully for the rest of
What's good?
Your life.
for the rest of my life.
What is good?
What's popping?
What's poppin'?
It's starting things off.
Oh, okay. So I was just Snapchat, and they've got like all these news articles and everything. Like I do like to check the news now and again. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not really old school with that newspaper life, but going through the Daily Mail thing now, and
Well, that's your first mistake.
yeah, I don't really care. It's news. Porn teacher charged with incest. That's the title. I can go and clarify everything else in the article, but that's not my problem.
I literally just want to
Porn
know what
teacher.
a porn teacher is.
Porn.
That's all I want to know.
That is
Teacher.
a profession.
Excuse me?
Like, what do they do? Do they teach people how to like edit or like or perform or like what?
Do they teach people how to edit?
Yeah, like
I
edit
love
the
it.
actual porn, like and getting used to seeing like
But
everything.
wouldn't that be in like film studies or like?
But I did film studies and I specialized. I majored in porn.
I can't. Porn teacher.
No, because you said about this. We were talking about it before we actually started. Hence why we've started the podcast with it. I'm still trying to get to grips with this. It is like an onion. But I also, like you said, I don't want to know anything else in this article.
That. I just want to clarify what porn teacher is.
It is like it's the mythic of land of which we don't understand. It's like, is it like performance? Is it like actually capturing it?
I hope it's performance.
It's everything.
Or is it actually just watching it? I'm gonna teach you how to watch this properly.
Well, if you give I can't even speak. If I give you guys the subtitle, it says mum of two arrested after pupil recognized her having sex with underage female family member, which is
That's a whole different story.
oh no, baby, no, no, you don't, no, just no, 9, no, like. Every type of no.
What I love is the difference between what we thought it was.
What we thought it was compared to what it actually means. Because we just thought, oh, porn teacher? Oh, someone's teaching porn now. But no, it's a teacher who's been in a porn.
It was just how you started it by saying mum
okay.
of two. I lost it. Mum of two. I was like, oh Christ.
That's how they started it. Mum of two arrested after pupil. Like, you guys go on Snapchat and look at the Daily Mail.
That took
and
me a little while since because I still did not get that. And then I was like, oh, I'm finally onto it.
You're onto it now,
It's
yeah.
mad. Like, I don't even want to read the article. It's just they needed to like reword this main title because porn. No, baby. No.
I don't know what the maddest thing is. How did a student just stumble upon them fucking?
Well, they were obviously looking online for it.
How does the pupil know that the family member was underage? Also a family member. Because that's a bit weird, don't you think? Unless the child goes to the same school as the teacher, and then this guy's surfing, and he just goes, "Ooh, my classmate's here." Wait a minute.
That's me mate's mum.
Yeah.
My brain's having an absolute nightmare trying to understand
like-
any of what you just said.
Oh, okay. Never.
No, I mean not
That's it.
because you explained it wrong, but it was just like
to get it in your
I'm
head.
so
Like,
confused by the whole situation.
I'm confused. That's why you gotta ask these questions. Why? What? When? Where? If? Who?
Not even when.
Yeah.
Should. I kind of wish that we never actually found out in a way, because
Yeah.
I think my life was better off not knowing
Without it, yep.
the true story.
I just
But,
wanted
yeah.
to wonder forever what a porn teacher actually was.
and look, going into the job centre on a Monday and being like, I found a great career. I seen it on Snapchat. And this is what I'm going for now.
This is me. Ooh, okay, here's a question. Do you feel like in the next 50 or so years, there will be teachers that teach porn, or there'll be a class that like educates you about this is a occupation? Like, I don't know, like,
No, there will not be a class.
100% not at all, CJ. What direction is your brain going in?
Especially in Britain.
sex ed.
But isn't that?
But yeah, like,
Is-
just imagine, like, as this was what I said, especially in Britain, because how useless is the sex
Yeah,
ed in
fair.
Britain? Like, we fucking, like, yeah, just
Yeah,
wash your dick and that's all you get told.
See, I didn't get anything. We had. I'm sure if my mum's listening, she'll correct me. But we were given like sex ed in like year 3 or 4, which in my opinion is 1,000% unnecessary. I didn't even want. None of the boys in our class wanted to even go near a girl. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
they have
It was like,
cunties.
yeah.
You don't.
you touched
Cooties
the
on the
girl.
lurgy.
Exactly, like, it was just a shameful experience, and the video that they played to us was it was a cartoon couple, and I excuse me for the poor audio quality here, because I'm getting some major pops, so sorry about that. But it was a cartoon couple chasing each other around a room with like pillows and like basically just knocking the shit out of each other. And then that was their explanation of what like romantic sex was.
That's how, that is, though, isn't it? That's how you do it.
Well, obviously there's things out there similar on the internet, but what I'm saying
I'm still
is
a virgin.
being told that that's what sexual intercourse is in year 4 is an extremely
Yeah.
confusing experience.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
We were all just sat there in the class kind of like, I mean, I don't know anything about sex. I'm pretty sure that's not it. Like,
Yeah. That's not how it goes down.
I have a feeling.
I remember my mum had this book, because I feel like me and my brothers, we never really had the talk about sex or anything like that with my mum, and like we had like a full like loads of shelves of books, and there was this one book which I remember my mum getting, and it was a book about parents telling the 2 children how they were born or how to make babies, and they went through everything under the sun for like different kind of what is it, the stork, birds and the bees, all them kind of talks with the children in the book. But then the children turned around and was like, no, this is what this is and this is what that is, and you guys come together and it goes in like this. And yeah, so many illustrations which were very funny. It looked like Quentin Blake, the illustrator for Roald Dahl. It looked a lot like that, so it was pretty funny at the time.
I've just got an image of the BFG just having. It's not an image that I need in my head at all.
I've literally never had like the talk off like me parents.
That's because your parents are different, no, and your
Yeah, I
family
know.
is different, John.
Our whole family is something else.
Yeah.
But the closest I've got to the talk with my dad was he gave me a pack of Johnnies when I went to uni. I was like, just be careful, and then sent me out the door with a crate of beer as well. And I was like, sound nice one.
Imagine though if you literally didn't know up until that point anything about sex.
Oh yeah,
And he just gave you a pack of Johnnies.
Water
and went,
balloons.
Be careful, and you're like, be careful of what? What? Like,
Yeah.
wait, what's you? This is so out the blue. Like,
It's mad that. Oh, crazy man.
These crazy little rubber discs. What are they for? You just like, he's like thinking they're like oven gloves or little shower
I was
caps.
just thinking like water balloons, just heavy duty, weirdly shaped water
Just
balloons.
bouncing off stuff, not really popping. Just kind of. Did you see that thing? It just reminded me of it was like a challenge or a craze when people would fill a condom full of water and then drop it over their head.
Yeah,
And get the whole condom on the face.
What was kind of like the appeal of
I
that?
don't know. But you've literally just reminded me. Do you remember like in secondary school, and I think they used to call them like sex bands, and you like used to get like certain colours, and then if you did something, you had to snap it.
Oh yeah,
Do you
I do
remember them?
actually remember them.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
That's brought me back a
That's
bit.
Sex bands, yeah, I do remember them. What a weird time to be
Fucking
alive.
weird, wasn't it?
Mate,
The early 2000s and the late 90s didn't really make any sense.
Oh,
Might
it was
have been Naughty's
it was
Boys.
a bit after that for me, then.
Well, yeah.
For
Well,
you as well, like.
Yeah, you know what I'm on about.
I know what
anyway.
you meant.
Yeah. Ooh, I've
childhood memories.
Oh,
Something else.
that was something I wanted to talk about. What was the weirdest thing you remember in secondary school? Either happening to you or happened to someone else. Just the weirdest thing you remember seeing.
Like there's so many memories.
Or like the craziest thing. Just like
Oh,
things that
okay.
shouldn't have happened in secondary
Yeah.
school.
Okay.
Or,
So in my school or in my year, there was only, I would say, 3 black kids. One was mixed race, and then there was me, and then there was another guy called Kyle, and who was in like, cause like the years separated in two classes, and he was in one class, I was in the other, and the other Kyle, they were both called Kyle. What on earth? Anyways, so the black Kyle and the mixed race Kyle were in one class. I was in the opposite class, and Black Kyle was known to be like a rebel of some sorts, and I remember him. I don't know what it was. I feel like it was like we was playing cricket, and everybody was just like trying to chase him for some reason because he did something wrong, and then he threw a younger kid into the nursery, and then he just like ran out of the school. I was like, what? Like, I felt like I was in like a TV drama. Like, it was so mad. There were so many people. There was so many like teachers around, and it was just like a weird like thing. Just him just throwing this kid over, and then everyone just following him about like, okay, what am I doing? And then he just like, no, sack this off. I'm going home. Just walked out the school during
I
lunchtime.
don't know if that's a power move or not. Like,
A power
It is pretty
move.
power.
A power move. Just
picking up a whole child, throwing it, and then walking straight out the school.
shot put.
Yeet. Reverse yeet.
I don't know what I don't like the maddest thing that happened in my school, because as you know, my school was pretty mad. But the thing which shouldn't have happened was like, it's probably like every 2 weeks a bin was on fire. Like that just should not have happened like at all.
Is this Margie's?
Yeah, Maggie's. Yeah, there's far too many bins getting set on fire for like no reason.
I'd love to hear from any other kids. If there's anyone else, well, I know.
I'll get Sam on.
Yeah, get someone.
Sam can testify to probably most of the stories I want to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, that's not what you call a safe learning environment, would you?
Not necessarily.
Were they
Sounds
like,
pretty hazardous.
Were they like indoor bins or?
Nah, they were always the outdoor ones because we
thank
just had
God for
these.
that.
Yeah.
We had
'Cause
these like
Jesus.
really like shitty plastic bins, and obviously in an all-lad school you get pretty bored pretty quick, so do something about it. Don't you?
You set yourself up for the wrong sort of
Yeah.
conversation there, didn't you, John?
Definitely.
Yeah,
It's all
Just
good though.
setting bins on fire and that.
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know, the weirdest thing. I don't know. There was it was just crazy shit going on, and there was one time, me and my buddy, we were on prefect duty, another Sam actually, and we were on prefect duty, and I God knows why anyone trusted us with being prefects, And it just meant we had to guard the corridor, right, and stop people like coming in the lunch break or whatever. But two of the most irresponsible people you would have ever met at that school, like just ridiculous. I mean, we got kicked out on the last day for just causing havoc, really. So it's not really the best people to be prefects anyway. And it's all calm and it's all lovely, and we're just like kind of just chilling in the corridor, and all of a sudden, like a swarm of 15 like year 7s, we were in year 10 or year 11 I think we were in, and like a swarm of year 7s come in, and for some reason they only wanted to come in to try and attack me and Sam, just because they thought it would be funny to like charge a corridor. And they literally ripped open these huge doors and they come pouring in through the corridor, and like we're trying to stop them coming in, so we end up in a scrap with these year 7s, which is already messed up. But for some reason, did it either I get that there was one huge kid. He was in year 7, but he looked like 3 times older. It was like,
Jesus.
you know, when you can't tell if someone's like
Year
7
21.
or 42, yeah, like. And this kid, like, I think he charged me, and then like the other 14 kids charged Sam.
Right.
But like the combination of those 14 kids made up for like the sheer size and mass of this kid who was attacking me.
Jesus.
So we're both just getting like charged down the corridor, and then all of a sudden like the teachers come running out and we see him before the little kids do. So we just hit the deck and made it look like they were beating the shit out of us. And then all of a sudden, like, there's 15 kids in detention in the space of like 10 minutes in one room.
Mad.
It was just crazy, and I did like for no reason. They just wanted to charge us down.
Probably
Basically.
did something wrong to them beforehand whilst being prefect. I don't know. I wasn't at your school, so.
It was not a nice school, to be honest. Shout out to Hardin Hewish for being the shittest place for education. If there's anyone listening, I'm guessing some of my friends listening who went to Hardin Hewish. Fucking awful place. And I hope you all agree with me, because if you don't, then you're wrong. In
Shout out
short.
to Round Day, Kermaki, big up.
Did you have a good school though? Did you enjoy it?
It was all right. Do you know what? I feel like what was really weird, because when I was in primary school, my sister was in high school at the time. So some of the teachers knew me before I knew them. So like I remember Mrs. Holmes, Mr. Drever, Mrs. Shelton, no, not Mrs. Shelton, Mrs. Clennell, and Mr. Cleffin, who was the head teacher. And like I just remember them from really small. So then when I was in high school, they totally forgot who my sister was until I said, oh yeah, I'm my sister's brother. And like, oh yeah, the resemblance there, blah blah blah, and etc. And then like being in their classes as well, which was really weird. And then they would kind of like pick me up on it as well. Oh yeah, and Miss Langrick for DT Food, bless her soul, like she would always just be like, oh yes, you and your sister were very good at cooking food, and this and that and the other. You must have it in the family. You have a special talent for cooking food of such cuisine. And I was like, I'm just trying to be myself.
Stop kissing my ass.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just trying to be myself.
I'm just trying to learn, miss.
I had a similar situation in my school. But I used to always get called Mark. Because my brother's
extremely unfortunate.
My brother's name is Mark, and he's 2 years older than me. And always used to get called Mark. So that was something, especially back in them days. He was a bit of a he wasn't well known for his good behaviour.
What, as he is now?
Yeah. Well,
Jesus Christ.
he's not bad now. He's alright. But
No,
like,
to be fair, actually.
he's got a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got always Mark, and then John. It'd always be that. It's the same with my mum and dad as well, to be fair. Because there's always that whole situation of run through the whole of the family before they get to you.
Oh, I know that. Like, it's not even like my mum has called us 3 boys: Courtney, Caden, Kyron, and now all these kids coming out. My mum will call out one of them. She'll go Courtney, and then go Caden, Kyron, and then she doesn't know which one she's trying to specify. So if she just wants one of us, she'll go, one of you, come here. or if she's, or if she goes, or if she wants one of you, she'll have called your name out first. So it'd be like Caden, Courtney, Kyron. So she wants Caden, but she's called all of us.
Just in case.
Just in case. If she got the name wrong. And then I'll have probably gone. And she said, oh no, not you. It's like, can you stop calling all of our names out? But honestly, she's been doing that from like
Day one.
Day one. Since Kyron was named Kyron, we was all being called. All of us. And you know how my mum sounds already.
I do know how your mum
So
sounds, yeah.
how she's calling our names with a bit of vigor behind the voice as well. We are all literally there, ready and fighting. It's mad. It's mad.
Big up, Cheryl.
Hi, mum. You alright?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's one of those ones. I remember my cousin was in the same situation. So his name's Jordan, and our grandma called his name out, but didn't say like any of like us guys as like cousins. She called out her brother's name and called him Don, and I was crying because it's like, what your brother don't live with you right now, ma. Like,
how did you get that mixed up?
Yeah, how
asshole?
did you get that mixed up? Bless me, grandma. Lovely soul.
You tried.
Yeah, tried.
An effort was made.
Oh,
I just thought as well, John, you reminded me, at some point we're going to try and get, if you're not familiar with who John's brother is.
He's something else.
John's brother, Mark Naylor.
The Mark Naylor.
He's a character and we love him, and he tells his stories. I remember, well, the reason I want to get him on is because he called me up the other week, and he's been teaching piano to kids. And I don't know if we're dobbing him in here or not, actually, so I'll be careful with what I say. But and to be honest, if we get him on, I won't be able to dob him in as much as he'll be able to dob himself in, to be honest. But he called me up, and it was the way that he told me about what he'd been up to that day. So I figured if we can try and get him on at least once a month and just get a rundown of whatever he's been up to that month.
He's got a way of telling stuff. Which it is just something else.
If you know Mark Naylor, then you know what we're on about. But if you don't, you still have a good time. Yeah, definitely. That's something I'm looking forward to. Also, I was going to say, whilst I got a chance, if anyone listening wants to suggest anything that they've thought of that week that's vexing them or that they don't understand. I was trying to set up a Twitter page for this, and I fucked it up because I set the page up and I was like, Dad, chuff with myself and everything, because I love doing stuff like that. As you know, I'm like the person who loves making like the little Facebook page and doing it. I just get a massive buzz out of doing it. So I set up all the Twitter page, and I've got the email, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I was just feeling myself. And I was like, right, I can put in all the information. And when it said birthday, because I was setting it up like a podcast, I thought that it meant... I thought that it meant... I was reading it as the date that we set the podcast up on. And I set it up as October 26th, 2018. And as soon as I hit save, Twitter just like kicked my door down and was like, "You're too young to be using Twitter." I was like, "Oh shit!" And the best bit about that is, I mean, other than the fact that I'm not actually like a day old, but the best bit about it is that now the account's fully blocked. And I can't even... I've had to email Twitter personally. and
Lord, just such an idiot.
I'm not kidding. I've had to email him personally and tell him that I'm not actually... Like, I wasn't actually born on October the 26th.
Yeah, you're only 24, lad.
I've actually, Do you know the weirdest thing is when you do that, it comes up with an option to send photographic evidence of your actual, like, so send them a picture of your passport or you're like,
That seems dodgy. As
how
well.
weird's that? And I was like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna send him an email because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna send him a picture of my passport.
I was gonna
but yeah.
say like a 1-year-old couldn't send them an email. I'm like, why am I too young for this?
Lad, maybe even a 1-year-old could do it by accident, but a day-year-old
Is something
is what I was. I wasn't even 24 hours old when I'd set it up. I was like, can you not figure that out? Like, could Twitter not go, you've made a mistake here. You probably not 1 day old. Why would its first reaction be, nah, you're banned? what kind of?
That should be everyone's first reaction to everything, though. Just like, nah, you're banned.
Nah, you're banned.
I'm sorry about that, boys. So if you anyway, cut long story short, if you wanna suggest anything, like using better audio equipment, which we probably should. But we're working on it. Hence why this might sound. I will edit it,
Kind of shit.
but it might sound kind of shit. But I promise we'll try. We're getting on it.
Doing our best.
But yeah, if you want to send us it, just send us it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And,
Facebook
we'll
page,
give it
one
a
of them
look.
podcasts.
Yeah. And it can be anything, just as long as it's
Literally
something
anything.
if it concerns you, then get on it. Like send it to us, because that's the whole. We're desperately trying to understand everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
And usually to no avail.
Yeah. We will not help you in any way, but
No,
we will
no,
chat
no,
about
no.
it.
Well, if you want to send in your own problems, feel free. But like Uncle Payne sort of situation,
I
I
just
might
meant-
take the piss out of you.
Yeah, I just meant generally as well. Like, we will not help you in any way. This is just a waste of your time.
I'll
pretty
try
much.
and
Yeah.
be an Uncle Payne, but I might giggle now and again.
CJ's the good kind heart,
I'm the neutral ground.
whereas me and John don't give a shit.
Basically.
So don't tell me that you've got like, problems downstairs, or because I will
Please
find
do,
it
actually,
funny.
because it'd be really funny.
Yeah.
Um, And we will talk about it and dob you in it.
I might not drop someone's name in it.
Not maybe names.
Or will I? Right. What are we moving on to next, boys? What else have we got here? We've got a whole field of them.
I had a topic, like rap songs. Like obviously, there's a plethora of rap songs in itself, but I wanted you guys' favorite rap lyrics of like a really good song and a really shit song. Like the lyrics make no sense at all, but they are perfect in every way, shape possible.
Shall I start this one off?
Let's go.
Please.
So for me, one of my favorites, one of my best, is Cream by Wu-Tang. As anyone that knows me, 36 Chambers is everything. And there's a line in it where he says, well, that's good, I've forgotten the line now.
That's really
Well,
smart.
just like, to be honest, anything that any of the members of Wu-Tang say, I just think is golden. Like, how it starts, like the whole, I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side, staying alive was no drive. Like that flow is beautiful, and they're all geniuses. And then, but on the other end of the spectrum, I like a lot of this stuff. Like, I know you hate it, John, but like, I love some of the shit that Lil Pump comes out with. Or
To
like
be fair,
Lil
I
Pump or 6ix9ine.
don't hate it, but it's just such a meme. And it's like, I don't like it by any means, but like, it is just a meme central, and I just find it quite funny.
He's literally written two whole songs
and he's
about
got millions
one
of
word. He's got, one phrase. He's got Gucci Gang, and that's basically the whole song. And then he's got Eshkada, which is
Not even a word.
it's not even. He's trying to say let's get it, but the
Really?
whole song is him. Yeah, that's what it means. It's kind of like a
Oh, okay.
Skada. But it's not like either. It doesn't mean that it is just a bullshit word, but it kind of is like, it's like a, let's kind of get at this.
Yeah.
Let one get at such thing. But he's got a whole tune about that, and like 6ix9ine as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even. I know allowed. I can't even talk either. I know we're allowed to swear on our podcast, and we're all sound with it. But there is stuff that 6ix9ine says that I'm not willing to repeat on this. But if
Yeah.
go and listen to the track he's just done with 50 Cent, and there's a line in that where he refers to someone else's mother, and reference of his own genitalia. Go and listen to it. You'll hear it. That is probably. It's not one of my favorite lines because I relate to it or I think it's good. I just think it's like hilarious, the delivery on it. It is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Speaking of hilarity and like rap stuff, as you know, I'm not a fan really, but there is the whole thing of like the rap battles and like don't flop. If you remember them,
Yeah.
there's a Scouser on it called O'Shea, and one of my favourite lines he's ever done is "I'm so hard as shit on a shark," and I think that is fucking gold.
It's Shakespearean.
I just die every time I hear that because he delivers it so well. Like,
Who's he against in that battle? I can't remember who he's
I
against.
got no idea. I haven't seen it in years, but I that's the only line I remember as well from.
Shout
any
out
of
to
them.
O'Shea.
Yeah,
Big dog.
still working in Morrison's hopefully.
Is he?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, big up O'Shea. He did that song Lipper Pricks, didn't he?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is fucking fair.
Hold
to be
tight.
fair.
Oh, Shay. Nah, it's all good. No beef. No.
No beef, but it was a good song.
Yeah. Mine.
Yeah, go
I've
for
got
it.
several.
Being the
there's
rapper in the house.
So good, like my favorite rap lyrics. They're like, there's so many to choose from, but I really love what's his face, like mainly like J. Cole's stuff. He's got one by what's it called now? I think it's not All Free Adolescents. It's on 24 Forest Hills Drive, and it's like the second song after the intro, and he just starts it with the real is back, the real is back, the veil is back, flow bananas here, peel this back. And I'm just like, you just Jermaine Cole, like, and then he's got another one, so he's featuring on this song with it's by Omen, and it's called Mama Told Me. Essentially the song's about telling like, or their mothers telling them that they were a special child, like you've got a special talent, and how he does his part. So it's not even like a line, it's the first part of it. He's going, truly yours, J. Cole, my mama could have been a movie star, you know, like Judy Garland. Are you I forgot the lyric. I went to St. John's, I could have went to Juilliard, cause my beautiful mom mixed with my musical bond, deep as a funeral line, dog, I get it from my mama. I used to be embarrassed getting picked up in that Honda, and like, just like, it's ridiculous. Just like the vividness and how much like I relate to how he kind of said it as well. It was like, rah, like, yeah, he's just magical in them respects. Worst ones, which I just feel are the best lyrics in the world. Two of Kanye's. Yay. First one is, he got a light-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson, got a dark-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. I honestly, best lyric ever. Get a Nobel Prize. Oh, honestly,
That
it
is
needs.
Shakespeare.
We
that
talked about
is
that the other day
genius.
as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
It's dope. And then the one, what is it called? Lift Yourself, that song. And he just goes, this next verse though, and he just goes, scoop diddy whoop. Whoop
Scoop diddy whoop.
whoop diddy scoop whoop. And I honestly, I cried. I was like, is this real? Is this real? Oh mate. And yeah, I just think it's gold. He's sitting on the gold mine with those two lyrics.
On the same sort of, well, exactly the same tangent that we're on. Kanye West opinions. Because I know how I feel about Kanye West. And it's a very strong feeling.
Go on,
I'm
man.
so conflicted. Like I don't even know. Like, I'm just like, his old school music, it was just what it was. Like it was so vivid and everything, and like obviously him as a persona as well, like he knows that, and so he kind of puts himself in that kind of position to be like, oh yeah, I'll get all the stigma and this and that and the other, because he doesn't really care. And I, you know what I mean, hold tight you, because if I was in that position, I'd be like, oh my god, no, don't do it, blah blah blah, I'm sorry. But some of the things, it's like, I don't know. Some of his views, maybe, I don't really get. What his vision is, I do believe in, and I do follow with all my heart, because I am a Kanye West fan.
Yes, loud.
But yeah, man, it's just, I miss the old Kanye, straight from the go. Honestly, yeah, I miss the old one. I think that's me.
I've literally just heard he's gone on the West one recently.
John-
That's pretty much all I've got to say on the
Put in the
subject.
name.
Yeah, you're not as into hip hop as me and CJ.
No, not at all.
He says sat wearing the Amon Amarth hoodie.
Fucking
Polar opposite.
wear it every day for like 5 years. I'll fucking do it again.
It's like you can actually see you coming just by the logo on your hoodie and the green cap.
Yeah.
Kanye, I shout out to my housemate Cal, because we have spent many a night discussing Kanye and having many arguments with other people in bars, in which me and him team up and go, Kanye is a genius, you're all idiots. Did I say
Yeah, he
genius
is.
as well? Maybe. Which kind of just like devolves my whole point that I'm trying to make. But like, I always say this, I've said this to you before, CJ. I think he's on the spectrum. I think he has like Asperger's, high functioning autism, and he doesn't know how to communicate properly. So when he gets stressed as well, when he gets panicked, he gets all these thoughts in his head, and he binds them all together and just blurts it out. And what comes out is like, if you try and pick it apart, or if you understand what Kanye's like, you go, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
he sounds like an idiot, and everyone's gonna call him an idiot for saying it. But you know,
Yeah.
I get what he's trying to do.
Cause it only like took me like a good kind of look at one of his big interviews that he did. So like the one with like Zane Lowe and stuff. Like,
cool lad.
cause he's on like one road, let's say, and then there's like so many like other roads that he's got to kind of clarify his point, and he always kind of like drives on the road, or do you know what I mean? And he always speaks about this point, so it's like the big brainstorm that he's doing, and I feel like how he thinks when he just normally speaks is how I freestyle, because I've got so many thoughts that are coming into my head at
You
one
just
time.
take-
You just take something and it's like, oh, I can't do it. So that's why I don't really freestyle, because you've got to almost like just let it come off the tongue, and it's almost like with himself saying like all these things, and like everything's clumped up and no one can understand what he's actually trying to say, because there's so much like under meaning under it as well. And it's like he can't just like say it as a narrow point and it's just straightforward, because sometimes if you say it straightforward like how a person would want it, sometimes that straightforwardness doesn't correlate into a good answer, because you would need reasoning. So he's already like thinking about the reasoning with all these ideas that he's got in his head that are like, yeah, it's mad. Like I hear where he's coming from.
Definitely.
It's mad.
And don't get me wrong, I think that some of the stuff that he does, like as a person, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know, he's not like, you know, by any means the most I don't even know what the word is, put together. Maybe he's not like the most. I'm not saying he's not all there, because it is all there in his brain, but like, yeah, he just.
But
I think he needs to pick the people that he talks to, because in my opinion, that Zane Lowe interview, and I don't care. I think Zane Lowe is shit. I thought that radio interview was shit, and like, like talk about kissing people's asses. Like I just couldn't deal with it. So like when I seen that and I was like, oh god, here we go. Like I love Kanye, and I know this is just gonna go straight down the drain because he's just gonna start getting panicked, and Zane Lowe's gonna ask him a few questions, and it's gonna come out.
It's just gonna
It's
come
gonna
out
come
in a
out wrong.
whole different. Yeah.
You know, and like he talked about his thing with Nike that he was trying to do, and how like Nike shut him down and like stole his ideas or something like that. He's talking about in the interview, and like that obviously pissed him off because he said at that time when he was working on music, I think it was Yeezus that he just brought out or was bringing out.
Yeah, I think it was.
He said 10% of his time was devoted to making music, and the rest of his time was like designing stuff and like having meetings with like, I don't know, like people doing the stuff with technology or electronics and stuff, because he's genuinely interested in just expanding himself as a brand, and like he's
because he is like a fully fledged artist in that whole fact. Like he does have a big devotion for his fashion. And
he's a creative.
Yeah,
he's a creative, like
and
David Bowie was. And whilst people are probably screaming at their computers hearing me say that, but like they're both creatives in their own right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And as well, like I feel like, sirens.
Shout out to the sirens.
Shout out. I feel like with like other artists in his kind of realm that have come through like the 90s and who are like really big now. So like for instance Pharrell, like you gotta think he's a big dope producer just on the same level, even not more well respected as Kanye West in the game, and he's got his own line of clothing as well.
Creative.
But it's like
Will.i.am,
Will.i.am.
the stuff he was doing with was it like making his own cars and then the way he was investing back into the projects and where he came from, like he's trying to expand himself but also like try and help expand the rest of the world in a way.
But as well, there's something that Kanye's getting at, I feel, that no one can understand him in the sense like, why is it so easy for everyone? Is it because he's wanting like ownership and it's much more of like this kind of like stuff that he can't really say over interviews, that he's not like he can't say because, oh yeah, this is what I'm trying to do with my creations and this is how much I'm wanting and this is how much I'm sending out and this is what the price is and this is what it's going to look like and blah blah blah, whereas these other people don't have that much power in a sense. So like if you think of Pharrell's stuff, does he have enough power in his own creations that he's not so comfortable and he's just, oh yeah, I'm with Reebok or I'm with ice creams, or do you know what I mean? I feel like Kanye's trying to get to a bigger kind of scale with his and not just be like, oh yeah, I'm working with Nike. He wants like a part of Nike kind of like thing. So like how almost how like Michael Jordan had his own line of shoes.
You think he was asking for too much maybe? Than what the company wanted.
I'm guessing so, just because it's a musician and not a different kind of job occupation, I feel.
Yeah. Right, we're going to take a break because I think we all need to get more bevy and I need to call the bathroom. Very professional of us. So we'll be back. Right, we're back. We had a nice little toilet break. I also managed to fix some of the extraneous audio issues by putting a sock over my microphone.
Good old sock, eh?
I went to
works for everything.
I went to Lippe. I studied production. I learned how to put a sock on a mic to cut down. I don't even know if I was getting phase issues or if it. Anyway, I'm gonna pretend I knew what them words meant.
Shout out Steve.
big up Steve Parker and also big up Dan Sanders.
Yo,
for teaching you all those useful skills.
The realists.
No. For putting up with my shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
They are the real MVPs.
Truly. Get us running back on. Something that spoke me recently is user interface and user experience in games. So I've seen there's a YouTuber called Nakey Jakey, and if you've not seen him or heard of him, go and check it out. Don't look at me like that, Siege. It's not what it sounds like.
Okay.
But go and check out Nakey Jakey. He does all stuff to do with games, and he's just super funny. But he did a little episode on user interface and user experience and shit ones at that. And I was playing EVE online, which is this like massively multiplayer online game, and this is not a sponsored thing at all. It's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to shit talk the game, but it's also not like it couldn't be used as a sponsor, because I went on this game thinking, well, I've played every single game in my Xbox. I want to play something a bit different. I want to play a big online game. Don't want to get World of Warcraft. It's just not my sort of thing. I downloaded League of Legends before. That stopped running because I can't be asked to update it, and I've not updated it in like 6 months, maybe a year. So I started playing this game, EVE Online, and it's like you fly in spaceships and stuff, and it's kind of like No Man's Sky. You know how like you go out and search for minerals and materials,
different planets and shit.
Yeah, and it honestly it is sick, but oh my lord, I think it's actually more confusing than flying a real spaceship. Like I shit you not, the tutorial was about, I think there was like 20 odd missions in the first tutorial.
Jesus.
And every mission is like you don't have to like turn the spaceship on and all that sort of stuff. It's not like actual controls. But so you've got like a menu at the side for fuck knows what, because I didn't really look at any of it. But I can't get to grips with it. And as someone who's dyslexic and struggles with shit like that, and John, you probably feel me.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you've not played it, go and play it and tell me I'm right, because it is just insane, like the user interface. So the point that I was trying to get onto is, what is your most horrendous moment with like software games?
Okay.
Like just trying to get to grips with any of that shit, because there's so much poor user
Fallout
interface.
4. Fallout 4. I know you love the Fallout series.
What, for user experience or user?
No, just user error, basically. Because I should know, as a beloved like Skyrim fan, that with Bethesda games you always constantly should save, and me being silly decided not to do that with Fallout 4, and I basically decided to just like fuck shit up in this like the main town, and I ended up getting like a bunch of guards onto me. And I went into like someone's house, and then I ended up with like 20, like literally like 20 guards in this house with me. So I just instantly died. And then every time I went to like reload, it had automatically saved into that house. And so every time I reloaded, before the screen even went back to like back to colour, it was already I'd already died. And
You're already washed up.
I hadn't saved for about 4 hours previous. So
you went from playing Skyrim to playing Fallout.
I have
and
not touched that game since. I
didn't think.
I was being an idiot, to be fair. I was having a good old time, and then I realised how much I fucked up.
See, that's your own fault.
That's why I said user error.
Lack of user.
But it's just thought. It brought me back to the thought, because you said that that tutorial had 20 missions in. Bringing it a bit more up to date, Red Dead came out, 2 days ago?
Yesterday, didn't it?
Like a day or two ago, yeah, something like that.
Depending on when you listen to it,
yeah.
which I think like a week ago.
About a week ago.
But
okay, never mind.
Like the game looks amazing, and it
looks.
It's
does
got
look
so
incredible,
many
yeah.
like complex things going on with
Yeah.
it. But apparently,
You're probably gonna say it, aren't you?
What?
I was gonna say about the shrinking horse test.
I wasn't going to talk about it, but yeah, okay. Apparently it is a thing, and
Yeah.
to be fair, I believe it with all the detail they put in the game.
I've seen
But
it. They
apparently
shrink.
that tutorial for the game is 10 hours.
I watched it. What that in? Because you sent me a video.
I
that-
sent you a video. That's like they only played like an hour of it, and apparently there's another 9 hours after that of just tutorial based stuff. And the actual like gameplay is like 60 hours or so.
Swings and roundabouts.
So it's insane, to be fair.
That is
it's
ridiculous.
a massive game, and it looks incredible.
Is the map like? I haven't seen any of the specs. Like, is the map even like what, double the size or something?
I've heard, because with that video I sent you, it's not really a spoiler, but like in the first like 20 minutes of the game, you end up you go up like this mountain to save John Marston, who's the fella from the first game. And like you see how he gets a scar on his face and stuff. We don't see it, but like you find out the story behind it. And like that, it's just, I forgot my point. What was I talking about?
Great stuff.
You were saying about the tutorial, and is that like the end of the tutorial?
No, that's like the beginning of the tutorial.
Oh, for
and
fuck's
it goes on for ages. But that's what I was gonna say. I've heard that apparently it has the old map, like the
in it,
in the new one.
Okay.
But
Like,
obviously different because it's like
how big it is.
how many years
Jesus.
after is it supposed to be? Like,
Oh no, it's
50 years?
it's years before.
Oh, was it before?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
before,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I was
Exactly.
losing my head then.
So it's what, like probably 10 years before. So might be a bit different, but
See,
I've only heard that. I don't know if it's true or not. Rumors and that, but
so like my qualm with having 10 hours of tutorial, why don't they split it up? So like you have like a bit of tutorial at the start, and then when you need to have these next extra bits that are in the gameplay, have like a little bit that are like
Yeah.
you almost kind of like, so let's go to like the Assassin's Creed kind of franchise.
Yeah, okay,
And so
yeah.
like you kind of start off with how to move, how to punch, how
Like
to
how
use your
to
sword,
climb and
yeah,
stuff,
how to
yeah.
climb. And that, like you kind of start that whilst you're starting to play the game, and then like when you move on to the ships, you kind of
yeah.
start to learn the controls when you get to the
thing is
ships.
for this game though is like I know it's similar with Assassin's Creed, but it's not as much. Like this is very like heavily story based.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've got to say I have not played this game yet. I really want to, but I've just seen a lot of stuff on it.
Wouldn't you say Assassin's Creed is story based though? Like,
Yeah, I would, but nowhere near as much as this.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because
I thought you just like not played Assassin's Creed at all.
oh no, I've completed all the Assassin's Creed apart from the last two because I'm too poor to buy them.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like I've been like a massive Assassin's Creed fan for years, so
Yeah.
like
You got it.
I'm onto it. But it's like I don't think it's anywhere near, from what I've heard, of like story based at all compared to this, because like from what I've heard, some of the stuff you can do is just like insane.
What?
Like
What I was gonna say about your point though, Siege, is why I think because if you think about it, with a game that is like Red Dead compared to Assassin's Creed, yeah, you learn bits as you go, but I feel like that doesn't break up the gameplay in a way. But I think if you were gonna implement that into a game like Red Dead, you want to feel like you're, I don't know, it's so open world. You want to feel like you're just flowing and free roaming, like you're part of that game, like you're part of that like landscape. That's the only thing that I can think of. Why
See,
they wanna do that.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed Origins yet, but literally what you're trying to say with like being like a full free world is literally how I feel like they've kind of coincided these two games, just in the fact that
I've seen some of it, and it's like
it's like there's like no loading screens, but like you've got
get to
this
choose.
yeah.
But it's like The Witcher. Like The Witcher's like a massive open world game, and like for like how big it is, there's hardly any loading screens. Like it's completely different to like Skyrim and stuff. It's similar like genre, but like in Skyrim, like there'd be loading screens all over the place, like every like city and stuff you went into, and even like the houses and stuff. With The Witcher, there's none of that, which is like, it's mind blowing, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
Forget me if I'm getting it wrong. Is that like the procedurally generated stuff, or no? Because that's like creatures and stuff, isn't it? Procedurally generated. I'm just wondering
I
how
don't
that
know.
works, like the lack of loading screens and how, because I don't
I
understand.
think
any
it's
of it.
because The Witcher came out like 4 or 5 years after Skyrim, so I think it's just like it's the development of the technology and like what the consoles can actually handle.
Yeah.
Because The Witcher 3 was like on PS4 opposed to Skyrim, which is on PS3
Fair.
or like Xbox and Xbox One and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's like mind blowing, like some of the stuff that you can do on games and stuff now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I am excited to see like more of Red Dead,
Yeah,
because I've only seen bits, and the opening scene, if you've not watched it,
it's crazy.
I
crazy.
need to watch it.
It
I
but
need to
it
get
is
on it.
literally Hateful
Amazing.
Eight. It is,
Yeah,
it is 100% the
it's
same
proper
as
that
Hateful Eight.
vibe.
It's the lad, not even that vibe.
It's not the same.
I'm not saying it's a rip, but like holy balls, is it a very similar copy of Hateful Eight? Like the way, like the they coming in on these wagons. It's like a massive snowstorm. Obviously, this stuff probably happened a lot of the time in, damn cowboy days.
Yonder eons ago.
But it is so similar to the Hateful Eight. Like, in the wagons, they bump into someone in the snow. He gets it. Like, they go off. They go and find a safe haven. And like even the log cabin. Like, I know it's all like supposed to look period and stuff, and it's supposed to look similar. But bear in mind, I only watched like the Hateful Eight like a couple of months back, which is appalling as a Tarantino fan. But I only watched it a couple of months ago, so that's still in my mind, and like it's still fresh. So when I seen the Red Dead, it wasn't even the trailer; it was like gameplay from the start of the game. I was like, that is it looks so similar,
But like,
so similar.
Story wise, it's like completely different.
No, of course.
But
That was just the one thing that
it
I
does
seen.
look
I was like,
visually. It looks amazing. It looks like a film almost. It's like that good, like animation.
It does
and,
Like
look
some of the trailers
just
that I've
graphics
seen,
and
oh
stuff.
my god.
It's insane, you know.
compared to the original, I mean, the original one was
The original
sick,
still looks good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, it
7
holds up.
years ago, wasn't it? That's
It's mad.
It's something.
I think they said. I think
something
it's been
like
like
that.
7 years since the last.
Well, I think it's been in the works for a little while as well. The second one, I'd imagine so. I know with all the detail they put in the game.
Well, I think
and,
they
like,
would have
how
been
long
working
is.
on it as soon as they finished.
Maybe yeah. It's insane. What
And
they've
you got to
done.
think Rockstar brought out GTA 5 in between that.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
Like
with Red Dead 2, they had every single Rockstar headquarters get together
Working
and
on
actually
it. Yeah.
like work on it. That which is crazy.
oh, well, I reckon you can see that in the actual game though, because it looks fucking crazy.
I suppose that's
and,
the
like,
only way to actually get it done as well.
Yeah.
Without
So clean.
without disappointing people, like,
Definitely.
I've just thought as well. Do you know you were talking about like tutorials and stuff and like how they should like break it up.
Yeah.
I think with Red Dead, like they don't really hold your hand with like stuff a lot. From what I've seen anyway. With where Assassin's Creed, it's like it like stops the game and it's like it's got it like at the bottom of the screen and stuff, and it's like do this and then you do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird tutorials like because I feel like with like these new games, like they try and give you so many kind of different characteristics of how a game should be played. So like even with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I've never played the game, but
It's a very good
obviously that and Assassin's Creed 3 implemented the whole like warship stuff.
Yeah.
And from that in itself, they've made a completely different game away from Assassin's Creed, just about ships and how you can make that so much more like precise with things, because obviously with it being an Assassin's Creed game, you like there's like a kind of RPG element to it, so you don't really want to lose that by having this new mechanic in the game, which is ships and battling and stuff, without losing the integrity of what the franchise was made on.
It did definitely improve the game.
Yeah.
But I just find some of the stuff you can do in Red Dead. I just find it really funny.
Yeah, like I'd love to play the new Red Dead because
if you walk behind like a horse, like I think it's like you don't own or something, it will kick you. and you will go flying. And it's like it's
You
the
just want
funniest
to.
thing.
You just want to play it to test that out. Like,
Yeah, and like
keep getting
because like
shit kicked
and
out of you
the
by
thing is as
horse.
well, like your hat flies off, so you've got to go find it and pick it up.
Oh really?
Yeah,
That's
like it won't
mad.
show you on the
Mad.
map or anything, but like you can just like pick up random hats and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's
That's
really
like almost
funny.
intricate as real world.
Yeah, like they've put like
It's
some of those like insane
real
amount
life.
of details in.
Yeah.
Because like you have to make sure that your character's like not underweight and not overweight, so you've got to eat properly and stuff as well.
Right.
It's fucking from like the sounds of it, it's fucking mad. And I'd love to play it, but it's just really expensive.
Like,
I think it's like 70 quid odd. or something
like
that.
thinking about that, like my brother, he did a course to like do game design and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like he was finding it pretty difficult at times to like do commands and stuff, and to like have all these commands for something to happen, for it to do this kind of interaction kind of thing. So now to think to make something so real life in the fact that, okay, there's this horse, if I walk behind it, it's gonna kick me, and when that kicks me, my hat's gonna fly off, and it's gonna just
insane. It's
be
so
in a
many little
random.
interactions.
That is mad. Like, thinking about I'm
Yeah.
not gonna think about it. Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're getting towards the end here, I think.
Fair.
I've got a final thought to leave us on,
Okay.
and I mean we could end up going on for another 20 minutes,
But we shouldn't.
but
Go on.
it doesn't matter. I've got this final thought. Right, this is something that I don't know if it's a whiff thought or what, but it came to me. I think we were all sat in the war room in the crack, and
The office.
I said it to you, and I've spoke about it a bit before, but I just feel like it has not got the attention that it deserves. Scooby Snacks, right?
yeah,
In
yeah.
Scooby Doo, the program, Mystery Gang, all that, right? Scooby Snacks exist, right, in the same world as Scooby Doo. Is the snack named after Scooby Doo, or was he named after the snack? But either way, I don't really understand what's going on, because like which came first? Why
I've
is
just had a brilliant idea on this though. Okay, the Mystery Gang are quite a famous group, and they get called in.
this is what I mean? So,
Yeah, so it's named after the dog, I'd assume. Because they're a famous group, and they get called in to solve
if they're
mysteries.
so famous, why do they live in like a shitty RV that's not even like? What?
That's just it.
There's
That's
so
what,
many
it's the
layers
mystery
to this
man. Like, they just
question.
go and just like.
Why do
it's
they
just
still
like,
have why do they still have a potter who hangs around with them who doesn't really contribute to anything?
He's
None of that program makes any
Scooby's
sense.
owner,
The only bit that makes sense is
Scooby's
Velma, and that's all you need to know.
and that's where we leave it.
That's where.
Hidden treasures.
Right,
Have you seen that meme?
Oh no.
So every time Fred says treasures, he says treasure.
Oh, yeah. Treasures.
Hidden treasures.
Treasures.
There's treasures behind that wall.
I always hated Fred.
Yeah, I didn't really like him.
He's not, you know. I know it's talk shit on Shaggy, but, and I never liked Scrappy either. You can
Yeah, I didn't
bun
really like Scrappy.
Doesn't need to be in it at all. He defo didn't have a kid.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I've been Paddy Morrison.
This has been CJ.
And John.
It's one of them podcasts.
Peace out.
Peace.